If you didn't know, I'm 19 years old, which means I have one foot in the grave. Yay! But it also means that I am legally allowed to do the Grownup LPSTuber Tag by Littlest LPS. And also, I don't really know how to segue into this very well, but today is my 7-year channel anniversary, so that's kind of why I'm doing a tag like this. Definitely a lot less stressful than my previous anniversary video, which took me like 2 months to make. Question number 1, how long have you been in the community? Obviously, as I said, it's my 7-year channel anniversary, but I've actually been in the community for more like 7.5 years. I started watching LPSTube in I want to say November of 2018, maybe a little earlier or later, and my very first LPS video I ever uploaded was actually in January of 2019 as opposed to, July, but it was on a different channel and has been completely deleted. Question number 2, do you make family-friendly content or content for teens? It's actually kind of a concerningly difficult question for me to answer. In theory, I would say I make more content that's kind of geared towards, I guess, teens/adults. I make videos for myself, so whatever age I am is who it's for, technically. But that said, I have no illusions that every single person watching LPS Lemonade Stand is, a tax-paying adult. But even still, my writing is definitely not intended for children, even if it doesn't, contain super inappropriate stuff. And I also do have, ideas for films and series that do have more overtly mature content, although obviously that hasn't been made yet, and who knows if it will. But yeah, I'm definitely not trying to be a family-friendly operation. Question number 3, do you consume family-friendly content for teens, or both? Both. I would say usually the, more modern LPS videos I watch are generally intended for more mature audiences, but I do sometimes like to go back to some of the more OG mid-2010s stuff, which tends to be family-friendly. Quick honest opinion on each generation of Littlest Pet Shop. Question 5. That's question 5. I forgot. Or, no, it's not. It's question 4. Jesus Christ. Okay. I know a lot of people use the LPS merch system for what generation is what. I don't, and I'm just gonna put a picture to show what I'm talking about. Okay, G1 Kenner LPS. I think they're okay. I don't really have strong feelings on them. They're just kind of alright. Although some of them, I did look at some of them before filming this, and honestly, there are some kind of uncanny ones, but G2. I like G2. 10 out of 10. They are what I think of as LPS. They're just kind of the baseline and everything else is measured up against them. G3, let's talk about G3. I know some people have come around to them a little bit, especially now that G7 is back, but I'm not one of those people. They're scary. G4. They're also not something I really like, but I feel like they're a little bit better. They're at least kind of recognizably trying to do some of the same stuff as G2. And I feel like there are some that have some fun, little personalities, but I'm still not a fan of them generally. G5 and G6. I do kind of like these guys. I have a soft spot for them because they were what were in stores when I first started collecting, especially the Hungry Pets and stuff. But again, I'm not a fan of the plastic, and I don't like the fact that their heads are super heavy compared to the bodies. I like the ones that I have, but I definitely not pay money for them now. And then finally, G7, everyone's insert opinion here thing. Favorite or least favorite. I do like them in a vacuum, I would say. The actual product itself, I do like. I did like a lot of the designs. I will say the most recent wave, which I haven't really been keeping up with. What I've seen from that is a little much, but generally I did think they had some good stuff going on. But outside of the vacuum, I know this isn't technically related to the generation, but for me it's very tied to it. Basic Fun sucks. I'm just completely off of buying G7 because of basic fun. You know, I'd shoplift them if I were into shoplifting, but I'm not buying them anymore. Question number 5. Actually, question number 5 this time. What was your favorite year for the LPS community? This one's kind of difficult to answer because although I've, been here for quite a few years, none of the years I was in are really, in like the golden age of it, which would be, in my opinion, like early to mid 2010s. And they don't really feel as distinct, I guess. They kind of blur together more than I feel like those 2010s years seem to for people. That said, based on purely my enjoyment of the community and not like anything that actually happened that year, I would say 2023 is my favorite year. For whatever reason, I was just very connected to and happy with the community that year, even though, like, in retrospect, I would not want to be transported back to 2023 LPSTube, but like, at the time, I had a good time, basically. Question number 6. What kind of collector are you? Main 5s, everything, or do you not collect LPS anymore? I collect cheap LPS at this point, which basically means everything but main 5s. Well, everything but main 5s and deer and sheep and freaking all of it. In general, I like to collect all sorts of G2, specifically LPS. I definitely don't just collect big 5s. I just kind of collect whatever LPS I feel like. Question number 7. Has your channel changed throughout the years or has it stayed the same? I guess it's changed mostly on like a more meta level. Like, my channel used to have a different name. I've gone through like, oh my god, like 4 different mascots. On more of a content level, honestly, it hasn't changed as much as a lot of people's channels have over the years. Like, I still kind of make the same sorts of videos, mainly skits, but some forms of videos have kind of phased in and out. Like, 10 things in stop motion I don't really do anymore. I do less unboxings, I make films sometimes, but I don't think my channel has really gone through insane amount of change. Like, it's been mostly just like small incremental things. I feel like my channel's probably changed more than I think it has, just because I've been here the whole time, but I don't view it as having changed that much. Question number 8. What's something you've learned during your years in the community? I would say the biggest thing I've learned is, I guess, the ability to assess my own work outside of the context of how much it's being praised or how much attention it's getting. Even if one of my videos flops, I don't internalize that as meaning it was a bad video, and, vice versa with videos that randomly get a bunch of views for no reason that I know are not good, but... Question number 9. Have you ever quit or considered quitting? I have never officially quit. I have considered quitting 3 times. Once I just kind of got into something else and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, but that was a lie. And I was like 14. Then again in late 2024 after some like life changes that I don't want to go into. And then actually again this year, early 2025. It's kind of more personal than I feel comfortable getting into, but there was basically a big family emergency I had that, at the time we thought was really going to like disrupt our lives a lot. It actually ended up not being as bad as we thought, but at the time I was really, like, oh god, I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. It's not going to be feasible. In a way, I do still think about quitting sometimes, but it's not really like, oh god, it's happening now. It's like, sometime I'm gonna move out, hopefully, and then, who knows what kind of setup I'm going to have and what kind of stuff I'm going to be doing. Like, will I have the time or the space? But I don't know. Seems like some people manage it, so maybe I will too. And finally, question number 10. Some motherly/fatherly/parental advice you could give to your subscribers. I'm just going to kind of do this in a more like LPSTube sort of advice context, because there's nothing you can learn from me besides like, what you can learn from watching like a fatal car crash. But LPSTube wise, I would say the biggest thing, like if you're starting out, maybe you're younger, don't take it too seriously. This is not your job. And like, with all due respect, it will never be your job. It will never be your source of income. You do not need to treat it like it's your frickin' 9 to 5. You do not need to be uploading all the time. You don't need an upload schedule. Actually, for starting out, do not have an upload schedule, because you do not know how long videos are going to take to make. You don't know the parameters of stop starting your channel with an upload schedule that you're never gonna be able to keep. But outside of that, you don't have to feel bad if you're not uploading that much because you're busy or even just because you're doing other stuff. This is your hobby, and it should be like a fun hobby, not something that you have to feel guilty about not doing or sacrifice other parts of your life to do. You take a month break, you don't have to feel bad. You take a year break, you don't have to feel bad. We all have lives, and we know we have lives. We know other LPS tubers have stuff going on. Like, if you can be patient for other people will be patient for you. And, you know, if people aren't, then, like, screw them, honestly. At the end of the day, LPS tube should be fun, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm gonna cut myself off here because I've been talking in circles for honestly what feels like the entire video. Hopefully I edited it into something that sounds normal better. I actually just not gonna be giving up on the outro.